All right, everyone. Welcome to this weekend Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for November 10th through the 12th of 2017. And this video is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, definitely check out the link down below. We're using the actual size of the constellations, which is different from mainstream astrology. All right, so this weekend we have a bit of self-expression. We've got the moon shifting into Leo the second half of Friday. So Saturday and Sunday, the moon will be in Leo. We are in the third quarter phase of this lunar cycle, so it is a great time for implementing the insights from last weekend. But yeah, great week for having some fun, perhaps, expressing ourselves, just getting into a bit of that playful and creative energy. So very important weekend, actually. We have the Saturn trining up to Uranus aspect going exact. This has been going on since December. I think it's a very freeing weekend, in fact. It's been that sort of week, but this is the apex of it. And so I think there's stable changes taking place in our life. And so it could be a weekend of solidifying that, if there has been. Especially if since December you've been feeling like, you know, implementing some changes in your life. This could be the time in which it solidifies in that sense. So very good weekend for freedom, very good weekend for change. We are going to have the sun squaring up to the north node, so we are in the first quarter since the last solar eclipse, which was back in August, also making this an important weekend, and in this context, really taking the action steps towards whatever shifted in your life since August. And I think a lot of this since August, collectively, it's been about self-expression with the north node in Leo. All right, so let's look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so let's break down this weekend one day at a time here, starting on Friday. So the first half of Friday, the moon will still be in Cancer, as it was on Thursday as well. So still good for connecting to our feelings the first half of the day there, getting in touch with that reflective nature of ourselves and our roots, right? Our roots, our past, even our home, our family, things like this that are connected to us emotionally. Really good to be anchored into that. But then as the day unfolds, we get into more of that expressive Leo energy. And that'll be taking us for the rest of the weekend. Really good for maybe some entertainment or some fun. Or, you know, just whatever it is you do that you feel like is either passionate or something that really invokes that inner flame. So very good weekend for that. And again, in the third quarter phase, good to challenge yourself with maybe some of this. You know, challenge yourself with getting out there or expressing yourself or getting into some of the creative energies if it's more internal like that. Could be a really good weekend for that. So on Friday, we will start to feel a lot of the Saturn trining up to Uranus, which will be going exact on Saturday. Again, this aspect since December, very important collectively. It's been signifying a lot of this freedom for change, yet very grounded in the process. So it's changing our foundations. It's changing our perspective, right? It's changing what we normally thought was things that we wanted for our security. We're now more open to changing that up, mixing that up, and bringing in maybe some excitement with that Uranus as well. So think back to December, if there's been anything you've been thinking about, whereas lately maybe it's been more implemented. Fantastic weekend for pivoting and shifting to continue to move that energy forward. Now, the moon is going to be activating that trine, in fact, so I think it's definitely going to be concentrated here on Saturday. And the aspects on Saturday do look quite favorable, actually. Yeah, definitely with this trine, this pivot, this shift towards this implementation, maybe even final implementation in a lot of ways. So as we get into Sunday with the moon still in Leo, we will start to feel this sun squaring up to the north node. And it's not really feeling it either because the north node doesn't usually come across as very personal in that sense. But if you think back to August when we had the eclipses, these were collective eclipses, which are some new understandings about what we find passionate, what we want to maybe create in our life that is a form of our self-expression, or simply expressing ourselves, right? This has been the Leo North Node transit that's been taking place this past year, but was activated with the last eclipse in August. So this is the halfway points between eclipses. And so it is just like this third quarter phase of the moon in the sense that we can be taking some initiative, some action this weekend. You know, that's what the squares represent, is building, taking steps. And so anything in that level, I think is a great weekend for that. So as we get into Monday a bit, I'll make a daily on this separately, of course, but the second half of Sunday, Venus is getting very close to Jupiter, actually. So this is a very nice aspect that happens about once a year. And this is where Jupiter, the planet of expansion and possibilities, contacts Venus, the planet of relationships and our values. So there could be some inspiration perhaps in the relationship area or maybe in the value area. And we could just be open-minded there, which is great. Maybe some new opportunities depending on your personal chart. And I think all in all, just a bit of inspiration and new insight in many ways regarding the things we value, the people we value, you know, that type of thing. All right, so that is the weekend in a nutshell. Definitely the Leo energy, very strong, I think, at least in terms of a theme. Could be internal in terms of created or external in terms of maybe some fun and entertainment. We still do have the sun in Libra, so still great to be focused on relating with others, give and take, that sort of stuff. Could be communicating deeply and thinking deeply still, which is great with Mercury in Scorpio. And the most important aspect this weekend, Saturn trining up to Uranus, this grounded change, right? This stable change, new experiences, building some freedom in our life, and I think changing those foundations. All right, so have a fantastic weekend, everyone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all very soon for the next Monday forecast. Take care.